What if you knew the 3 things that the narcissist fears the most? How would that make you feel? You know, we're always feeling so fearful, aren't we? But what if you knew the 3 things that the narcissist fears the most? This is exactly what I'm going to share with you in my latest episode here on my YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Caroline Strawson and I'm a somatic trauma therapist and coach, helping you move from post-traumatic stress to post-traumatic growth after the trauma of narcissistic abuse. Because let's face it, it is. And I want you to know that you are not alone in this. And this is why my YouTube channel is dedicated to help you feel educated, inspired, and knowing that there is hope and a light at the end of that tunnel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that bell so that you don't miss any of my weekly episodes that come out, really to help you know you're on your own in any of this, because I have been exactly where you are right now. So what are those 3 things then? What are the 3 things that a narcissist fears the most, that they really, really don't want anybody to know? Well, the first thing is taking accountability for their actions. You know, a narcissist will not want to take any accountability for what they are doing. And this makes it really, really difficult, because how many of you have been in an argument, a conflict, a discussion, in inverted commas, with a narcissist, feeling like they just don't take any accountability, any ownership, any responsibility of their actions. They will keep on projecting that out. I know in my marriage with my ex-husband, I feel so frustrated sometimes where I would be literally telling them something about their behavior and the evidence was there, yet he would look me in the eye and gaslight me and trying to make it out that it's my fault, I'm oversensitive, I'm this, I'm that, blah, 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 as such. Yet, no ownership or responsibility. There was just never any accountability. And this wasn't just with me, this was with everything. You know, if things were happening with his parents or things were happening with the children or at work, it would always be somebody else's fault. And the narcissist fears having to take accountability. Because if you think about it, if they took accountability for everything they've done, whew, how painful would that be for them? And remember, as human beings, we are set up to move us away from pain. So the last thing a narcissist is going to want to do is to take accountability. And this is what they fear most, of really everybody then knowing and them having to take accountability. And this is why they set up flying monkeys and start to have all of these little pockets of people around them so that they don't have to take accountability. It is their fault. It is their fault. It is your fault at the end of the day. So there's never any accountability. The second thing a narcissist fears the most is rejection. You know, they will want to get in before you. Now, for me, when I was with my ex-husband, he was the one that actually left me. You know, narcissists are driven by having what we call narcissistic supply. Narcissistic supply is their drug of choice, and it's literally other people like codependents like myself, people pleasers, really giving them exactly what it is that they need so that they feel worthy, they feel important, they feel loved, that they feel like they are good enough. And they will do everything to take, and you will do everything to give. But what a narcissist fears is, what if you reject them? So they will then keep you in this cycle of abuse, of love bombing, a lot of, you know, things that they will do with you so that you stay in the relationship. Then there will come the discard. Then there will become some manipulation or control or arguments or conflict, and then you get stuck in this cycle, which becomes the trauma bond there, because you literally physiologically become addicted to that roller coaster of emotions, the love bombing, so that, you know, dopamine and oxytocin, you know, this is a wonderful relationship, to then the discard, maybe conflict, arguments, you know, you went out or you spoke to somebody else or whatever it is, let's face it. And then the cortisol comes, and that cycle of those hormones you become physiologically addicted to, and the narcissist keeps you literally in that abuse cycle because they fear being rejected by you. That never wants to be happening in a narcissist world. They will either reject you first to make sure that they have that other narcissistic supply, but if you are their only source of supply in that moment and you reject them, whew, that is what they fear. Where are they going to get somebody then to show them how good enough or worthy they are? So they will be really, really trying to make sure they do not get rejected. And if they get even a whiff that you are going to reject them, they will find flying monkeys, they'll look for other relationships, they'll bring somebody else in. Now, this can happen with parents and partners. So if your parent is a narcissist, if they get any sense that you are not going to invite them somewhere or you are going to reject them, you watch how they shift their behavior and start bigging up somebody else maybe in the family to make you feel bad. They will want to get in there first. And the same with a partner. If they get any hint, like finding divorce papers somewhere, you watch how that abuse escalates then as well. They'll either try and hook you back in so you don't reject them, or they will do everything they can to find somebody else. It is so rare, and I can't say 100%, even though I kind of feel like that in my opinion. It is very rare for a narcissist to leave any relationship without having somebody else already there. Now, my ex-husband tried to make out that, because when we split up and he said, I can't stand seeing you this unhappy anymore, like he was being, it was all about me, that he just hated seeing me so upset in our relationship anymore. And he was being, really, really lovely to me by saying, I just can't do this to you anymore. And deep down, I kind of knew there was somebody else, which I did kind of find out maybe 6-8 weeks later. I got a text through, clearly wasn't meant for me. And I remember looking and thinking, and in some respect it was quite validating, because I kind of thought, I knew it. Gaslighting there, okay? But I knew it. I felt it in my gut. And I kind of left it for a while. And then my ex-husband then sent me another text, maybe an hour and a half later, just saying, I know you know. And let me tell you, from that moment, he knew I knew, his behavior escalated. It wasn't that it was amicable when we split up, but we were kind of muddling along at that stage. The moment I knew that he had actually cheated in that scenario as well, and there's many other times, but in this particular one then as well, because the facade was down that he was doing me a favor by ending our marriage, his behavior completely changed and the abuse escalated. This is why, breaking up from a narcissist is unlike any other breakup, because ultimately, sometimes if you go through a divorce or there's a relationship breakdown, of course it can be a little bit icky to start off with, can't it? But with a narcissist, that post-separation abuse can very often escalate, because they still want to maintain that sense of control. And they don't want anybody to think anything about you, because they'll create this whole smear campaign around all of this as well. So it's really important for you to recognize, kind of when or if they get a whiff of any rejection at all, then they will come in hard in all of this. They will either go and find somebody else or try and hook you back in. And I know, especially if you're in a relationship with them, thinking about creating an exit strategy, I get it can seem really, really scary. And, safety is our number one priority if you're looking to leave a relationship with a narcissist. So I don't want you to feel like you're on your own. So I'd love you to come and join my free Facebook community, Narcissistic Abuse and Trauma Recovery for Women, where you can be around other women. I mean, there are tens of thousands of women in there, and we vet every single profile in there, so it's a safe community. And I literally have myself and a team of people checking the posts, so we want to keep it as less triggering for you, but making sure that you get that support that you need at whatever stage you are at as well. Because I know what it was like when I was going through this, 10 plus years ago. I felt like there was nobody there. I felt really alone and filled with shame. I felt stupid. I felt weak. I don't want you to feel like that. It's why I do what I do at the end of the day. I don't want you to feel like you are on your own in any of this. So if they get that sniff of rejection, the fear that goes through a narcissist is they will try everything then to either find other narcissistic supply, and then they'll smear your reputation, believe me, or they will love bomb you and try and hook you back in as well. And then the third one, what's the third one then a narcissist fears the most? This is a biggie. This is a really, really big one that I cannot wait to share with you, because it's the one that makes my heart sing the most. The biggest thing a narcissist fears is you healing and having an even better life after the narcissist. Now, I do a lot of positive psychology in the work that I do, and we have a term in positive psychology called post-traumatic growth. So what does that mean? So post-traumatic growth is basically you, where you are right now with your pain and your struggle, actually finding your purpose, finding your strength because of this trauma of narcissistic abuse. Now, you might be sat there now going, Caroline, No, 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 no.
Me have strength after this struggle, leading an even better life, more deeply connected, more joyful, more happy. That could never happen.
I hear you, okay? I thought the same. I thought life was downhill literally after the narcissist. I remember saying things to myself like, he's had the best years of me now, it's downhill from now, because I was into my 40s then, a number of years after we split up, and I thought, oh, that's it, my life's over. Let me tell you, it isn't. At whatever age you are at, it really, really isn't. And actually, the power to heal is in you. It is not in changing the narcissist. And the narcissist fears the most you healing and going on and leading an even better life when they're not there. Because if you do, what does that say about them? So the narcissist will really not want you to see then you creating an even better life, finding strength, finding purpose in your pain and your struggle to live an even better life because and in spite of them. You know, that for a narcissist is the biggest rejection, and they absolutely will not want that to happen. Your healing is probably the biggest fear for a narcissist. So my hope is that by watching all of this, you know, if you kind of feel like you want to get back at the narcissist, okay, because I know we kind of want to feel like that sometimes, you healing yourself is actually the biggest gift you can ever give yourself, ever give your children, because if you heal yourself, you heal the next generation as well. And that actually is like giving one in the eye to the narcissist, okay? Because ultimately, I know that that is possible. This is not about changing the world or anybody else. This is about what you feel inside, recognizing even with the challenges that are around us, because let's face it, life has a lot of challenges, that you are still able to live your life filled with more joy, more connection, and more happiness. And that is totally possible. This is what post-traumatic growth is, you know, beyond the trauma, living an even better life. And it is absolutely possible for you to happen. Might not feel like it right now in that long dark tunnel, but remember, there is a light. I am that light for you at the end of the tunnel. I'm your hope merchant with where you are. So those are the three things that the narcissist fears the most. The rejection, the accountability, you healing. Because if you heal and everybody else sees all of this, what are they going to say about the narcissist? Well, she couldn't do that when she was with the narcissist, but now look at her. That is what we call post-traumatic growth and self-healing. So don't forget to hit my subscribe button and that bell. Make sure you get my episodes every single week, because my hope is to be that light at the end of maybe your dark tunnel as well. To know that there is absolutely where you can thrive after the trauma of narcissistic abuse. You're not on your own. I am here. I'm right there in the trenches with you, because I know that you can move from post-traumatic stress to post-traumatic growth after the trauma of narcissistic abuse. Mwah! Lots of love to you, and I'm right there with you.